Hi guys, Dr. Wendy Dearborn from The Laws of Attraction in Action, and that's thelawsofattraction.com and The Laws of Attraction in Action right here on Facebook, the group. Okay guys, well, the title of today's small inspirational talk is simply this: when not listening to your intuition is listening to your intuition. Hey Mike, how you doing, sweetheart? Guys, it's a bit like this. I'm going to tell you a little story about intuition and what has happened to me recently. For those of you who know me, you know I'm really huge on, listen to your intuition, follow your intuition, yada, 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 that whole spiel. Well, one of the things that I have learned over the last couple of days is that sometimes not listening to your intuition is actually the right thing to do. Okay, so the story goes a little bit like this. I had bought a pizza stone. Okay, and funny enough, I don't even like pizza. I'm not a huge pizza eater. And I bought this pizza stone. And about 3 weeks ago, I had this thing. You have to get, I don't even know what you call it, like a pizza paddle or one of those things that you put the pizza in and then you can transfer it onto the stone. So I had to get a pizza paddle. I'm going to call it that. I don't even know the correct name. But it just hit me. I had to get one of these. Now, where my office is, maybe about 3 miles away or so, is a restaurant that they sell restaurant equipment. So, and it's a wholesale restaurant supply, if you will. And so I know definitely I can get this paddle thing, the pizza paddle, in there. Without a doubt, I know that. However, I'm driving home and my intuition says to me, go into Depot, what do you call it? Home Depot. Go into Home Depot and buy the paddle. I'm like, pizza paddle, Home Depot. I'm like, come on, get real. So anyway, I veer off, I turn in, walk into Home Depot, and immediately I know, right, I'm going to walk down to the barbecue section. And lo and behold, walk to the barbecue section, and there's this pizza paddle, and it's really ideal because the handle, the actual handle, it folds down. So it's excellent for storage, which in my house is really at a minimum. So it's excellent. So as I'm walking by, they have these buckets, and I want to say they may be about 25 pound buckets or what have you, that you mix paint in. And I see these buckets and I look at them and I'm like, nah, I don't really need a bucket. However, that being said, I have for the last, I don't know, I've been married 32 years. I have for the last, I don't know, maybe 25 years, made my own cold pressed soap. But that's a whole nother story. But I make soap. I make soap, I make shampoo, I make my lipstick, I make my eyeliner. I just like doing that stuff for a variety of reasons, which one day I'll share. But I look at these buckets and I was like, oh, maybe I should get a new bucket. And I'm like, nah, Wendy, you said you're not going to buy anything else that you need to store because, storage is at a premium and you've got all this stuff. Okay, so take the pizza paddle home, yada, yada, yada. We are down to like 4 bars of soap, and it takes about a month for the soap to actually cure. The soap that I make. So yesterday I decide, Wendy, you're down now to about 3 bars of soap. You need to make some soap. Otherwise you're going to wind up buying soap, and I don't like to do that. So I decide, right, I'm going to make the soap. And so I get everything together and I get this gallon, this, I don't know, 25 pound bucket out. And I look, I'm like, what's that mark on there? And I was like, oh God, right, yeah. Right, it's cracked, and it's cracked in 2 places. And so that means that when I'm mixing the lye solution and all that, it's going to drain out. So now I have to go and buy a bucket. Now, prior to this, about 3 weeks ago, I went into Ace Hardware because we were regrouting the shower. So I went in and I got the grout and the caulking gun and all this sort of stuff. And again, I was walking out and I see these buckets and it was like, buy a bucket. I was like, no, I'm not buying a bucket. I'm not buying a bucket. Okay, So now I need this bucket. So I get dressed because I had no intention of doing any of that. I was just going to make my soap, chill out and do whatever. So I get dressed and then I go to Ace Hardware, buy the bucket for all of $5, come home and start my soap making process. Soap is made with lye. I make soap with lye, and I use all vegetable oils, coconut oil, jojoba. It's got coconut, jojoba, apricot, shea butter, olive oil. It's got all this goodness in it. Love the soap. So, you know, I'm doing my thing and it's made with lye. Lye is a caustic soda. You know, it's the kind of thing that you use to clean out the drains. Lye will burn a hole in your skin. It's caustic. So I mix the lye and everything's going well. And because I've done this for so long, there are things that I don't do that I should do. Which, you know, they say you're meant to goggle up, you're meant to put the goggles on, and you're meant to, you know, make sure you've got long sleeves, you've got gloves, and I really just don't do any of that, okay? So I'm mixing the lye, and I use a drill with the actual thing to mix the soap. So I'm mixing a batch of soap, okay? And I'm drilling, mixing, and it's, you know, sloshing about, doing the normal thing. And then I hear, put your glasses on. So I stop drilling, I stop mixing, and I go put my glasses on. So I'm drilling, mixing, and it takes about 15 minutes to mix, which is why I use the drill, the thing to mix, because it just it speeds up the process. So I get everything ready and I'm getting ready to pour the soap into the mold, and on my little table in the breakfast nook, I just spin the table around. I spin the table around so that I can just pour, spin it and pour, spin it and pour. Well, in the interim, I had put the mixer down and the drill, and usually I unplug it, and I didn't unplug it, and I put the mixer down on the floor, on the lid to the bucket, and I put this down, and I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm turning the table and I see the drill bit move. I see the drill move, and then I move it back into place, and then I'm turning it, and next thing you know, the drill's moved. Again, I usually unplug the drill. I'm always careful about that. This time I didn't. Well, guys, I went to pick the drill up, but I picked it up, and as I picked it up, I pulled on that trigger. That soap lye went everywhere, up my arms, in my face, the whole 9 yards. Now, where this leads into not listening to your intuition is sometimes listening to your intuition is, had I listened to my intuition all the way along, when my intuition said to me, put on my glasses, I would have said no. You know, no, I'm good. But because I hadn't listened in the initial stage twice, when I went into Home Depot and the first time I went into Ace Hardware, if I hadn't listened about, you know, if I had listened about getting the buckets, I would have just gone on. But because I hadn't listened in those two instances, and it worked out that I really needed the bucket. I mean, I couldn't make my soap without it. And because I didn't listen, when my intuition said, put on my glasses, as huffed as I was to get up to walk over to the room, walk across the room and get my glasses, I put my glasses on. And guys, I'm telling you, I put my glasses on, and that saved me, or at least it saved stuff happening with my eyes. Because I should have taken a picture of this actually, because when it splattered, it went all over my face, and it was on my glasses. Actually, I can't use my glasses anymore. It's taken like the veneer thing off of them. So I can't use my glasses anymore. I can't use those glasses. So sometimes when you don't listen to your intuition, you are actually listening to your intuition. It's setting you up for something that you can't see happening. All in all, it just is. And again, guys, as hopefully you were able to hear me say the end of this, sometimes not listening to your intuition is listening to your intuition. Knowing when is the hard part, and that I can't even help you with. I can only share my experience with you. So anyway, guys, I'm off and running. I hope you have an awesome day. I am blessed. I am so blessed. I could be kind of blind roundabouts now. So I am really, really blessed. And guys, have a wonderful day. I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborn. Please check out the group, The Laws of Attraction in Action, right here on Facebook. Do your stuff. Download PDFs. You got to join first. Download your PDFs. Do the work. Only you can do.